afternoon to one and all present here. Today, I, Shivam Sethi, convener of Mood Court Society, welcome you all to the SCC training session. I hope you all are keeping safe and doing great in these unprecedented times. Research is a very important skill in the person who is in the legal background, be it a lawyer or be it any partner or associate in the law firm. Research skills is something that helps us develop our analytical mind and helps us win those great cases and make our name in the legal fraternity. SCC Online is one of those tools that can help us improve our research skills and really help us research on such topics which are not even close to what we study. Hence, to take the session forward, we have amongst us Mr. Mohit Singh from SCC to help us on how to use SCC online and would take our proper training session on the SCC platform. So please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shivam, for such a nice introduction. And thank you to Dr. Nisha ma'am as well for organizing this session. Good evening to everyone. My name is Mohit Singh, and I'm a SCC as well, who is my co-trainer. And we all will be giving you some information on how to use this particular tool. And as said by Mr. Shivam, this will be a beneficial tool for you in present and in future as well when you're going to be the future advocates of tomorrow, right? I've been told that today the strength is going to be from the first year students. So yes, for the first year student, we have some interesting features which you can show off. Also, we will always try to give you as much quality information as we can in this session. This session has been kept from 3:30 till 5 p.m. And in the last, we'll start the question answers round. In between the session, if you have any doubts regarding any feature, please use the chat box window and we'll have a look upon them once we are done with the session. Having said that, we are also recording this session. So in case you have joined in late, you can always get the recording from the library department or from Mr. Shivam Shetty as well. And with that information, now I would like to share my screen. Just a second. Mr. Shivam, I would like you to confirm whether do you see my screen sharing?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so we'll start off the session now. Basically, what you're seeing over here is my inbox. And why I'm showing you the inbox is because students, in order to use the SCC online, you need to use one more software through which you can reach out, or we can say you can visit the SCC online website. The method over here is that you're working from home. We are all working from home, right? So we have developed a software through which it will virtually log in the SCC online as you are being presented in the college. So it kinds of a virtual remote access software which allows you to access SCC online while you're working from home. All right. Having said that, first thing first, we'll talk about the MyLoft over here and then we'll move on. In the MyLoft students, the first step is you should receive an email with something like this: no reply @myloft.xyz. This is the first step, and this is the email which you should be looking for, right? So once I have located this particular email, then what I can do is I can click on set password over here. Now, most of the students might be thinking about that I have not received this particular email. So what you can do is you can reach out to your library department or your faculty members. They will send us the details again, and you're surely going to receive the invitation link. Once you have clicked on that invitation link, what you need to do is you need to create your own password. I have already created my own password and I will click on sign in. The moment I click on sign in, it will ask me to enter the institute name. And over here in the institute name, I need to select SCC Online for the time being. SCC Online, there you go, and click on continue. Once you have selected your institute, then you enter the user ID, that is your email, and the password which you have just created, and click on the sign in button. So now you have successfully logged in the MyLoft software. Students, I want your participation on this particular topic because I need to know whether there is any kind of confusion in order to log in MyLoft application or not. You all have the rights to unmute yourself Also, you have the rights to post in the chat box window. Please let me know if there is any confusion regarding the MyLoft option, because that is the most crucial part of today's session. All right, moving ahead. So once you have reached to this MyLoft portal, now the journey is very simple. You click on e-resources, which is on your, and you click on databases. You click over here, and now what you're going to see is the SCC Online written over here. You click on SCC Online, and now the SCC Online website will open up. So you don't have to directly go to the SCC Online website. You have to go via MyLoft. Now you have reached to this SCC Online website. Now, before we log into SCC Online website, let us talk about the SCC Online first, which is, again, as said by Mr. Shivam, is a major tool for your research purpose. The full form of SCC is Supreme Court Cases, and it is a product of Eastern Book Company. Eastern Book Company is India's legal publishing house, which publishes Supreme Court judgments and Supreme Court digest notes. In SCC Online, we do not only cover the Supreme Court judgments and Supreme Court digest note, but we do cover every other documents coming from legal fraternity. It can be from the High Court judgments, Privy Council judgments, historical courts, and many other courts. But the main question is that, sir, when every information is available on Google and on YouTube, then why do we need such a software? That's the main question. Students, you're in the first year right now, and I recommend you to please understand this concept that whenever you are reading any document and whenever you are about to cite a document in the code, you should always check whether that document is coming from an authentic source or not. There are many tons of articles on Google which are not that authentic, and also sometimes websites which are not authorized by the government or any third party websites tend to display some incorrect information as well. So in that place, what you can do is either you can go to the Supreme Court website directly, get the raw judgment from there, and then you can cite them in the court, or else you connect to a research software which always get the documents from the government, and then if they wanted to add some quality information to it, just like digest notes, just like head notes, they add it and then they present it to you. So research software is one of those softwares which helps you to get all the documents in one place, and that too with the authenticity stamp mark, right? So that is SCC Online for you. And now we'll start our journey with the SCC Online. We'll have a look upon what are the different methods through which we can browse to the judgment. Answering to the question, what type of documents can you get? We click on data coverage over here. When we click on data coverage and we click on web edition, we'll find database, or we can say all the documents category wise which are being displayed in this software. Now, as you can see, we are all reading the Supreme Court judgments day and night. So Supreme Court of India is being covered over here. We also cover the Federal Court of India judgments. We also cover the Privy Council judgments, High Court judgments, current district court judgments, but we do cover the landmark. Having said that, we also cover the historical courts, tribunals, and commissions. Not only that, if we talk about the legislation, then we cover your central acts, state acts, central notifications, state notifications, and most importantly, bills in parliaments which have been introduced by any one of the houses or which has been passed by any one of the houses. For Indian secondary materials, we have kept the Constituent Assembly debates. Now, for the first year student, this is very important in order to understand that whichever article you see in our current constitution, what were the discussions that were placed in making of that article and why it was brought in. So all the debates have been kept in SCC Online. You can always have a look upon that. We also cover the reports of commission and committees. We also cover legal articles coming from different universities. And since we are going to organize, or I do not know the exact date of your intra moot court competition. For that, we also cover the moot court resources. In this software, we have the moot court resources option available, through which you can get all the mooting problems coming from previous moot court competitions held in India. And the winner team memo from the appellant side and from the respondent side. All that information is available in SCC Online. Now, having said that, now let's take a look on how can we access this software, the login part. The login part is very simple. You click on this login button over here, and then you get this IP login feature. If you do not get this IP login feature over here, then that simply means that something may have gone wrong in the process of MyLoft. So you need to redo your steps in the MyLoft. You should see this IP login. IP login is, we can say, for the new students. First of all, they need to register themselves. How they can register themselves? Please click on register here over here. Type in your login ID, that is your campus email ID. So I'll just type my ID over here, your full name, and you click on register and login. Those who have already registered, then this error will appear. Login ID already exists. That simply means please cross it out. Please go to login again. Please log in with your current ID. That is my this ID. Click on login now. So this is how you logged in, or you can say you can open the SCC Online dashboard. Again, I would like some participation from the students. If they have any confusion how to access MyLoft and how to access SCC Online. You can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself, or to let me know if you have any confusion regarding the login process. All right, we'll move ahead. Okay, so this is the SCC Online dashboard, and this is very easy to use. Why I've said that? Because in this dashboard, for each and every purpose of yours, for example, sometimes you would just like to open a case via find by party name, that is over here, or via find by citation, that is over here. So for each and every input which you have in your hand, we always have a dedicated tile for that. So over here you can see different types of tiles are available. So we are in today's session we are going to discuss the research part more and more, right? Because in your moot court competition, the research would help you a long way. In the red tiles, we have kept the library portion. Library portion consists of Bayrax. It consists of a new tile that is browse created topics. And most importantly, for you students, it also consists of moot court resources. So let us start with the research part, right? But I have one more question which I would like to answer over here, and so that we can see what type of judgments do we get in SCC Online and how it is different while we are taking a raw judgment from Supreme Court of India, right? So for an example, I would just like to pull up a judgment from Supreme Court of India. So what I can do is I go to this Supreme Court of India website. I've already done my homework over here. So I went to Supreme Court of India. There you go. I went into this section that is judgments. I went to judgment date section and I pulled up a random judgment from here, right? So this judgment is over here. That is in the Supreme Court of India, civil original jurisdiction, writ petition civil number, Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India. So this is a raw judgment coming from the Supreme Court of India, which you can always use wherever you would like to. This is a judge, and this is where Justice D.Y. Chandrachud sir has started his judgment. Now, whenever you're using a research tool just like SCC Online, you would always see a huge difference between a raw judgment and a judgment which is being displayed in the software. So let me just give you a quick glimpse on that so that you can understand that yes, there is some extra information available for you in order to save your right. So let me just pull up this judgment real quick. What I'll do is I will go to this option that is find by party name over here, and I will try to pull up the same judgment via find by party name. So first of all, in search by party name, I need to select the code, and I will select the code by clicking over here and Supreme Court. Over here, I will enter the party name. So I will type K.S. Puttaswamy. There you go. It was a 9 judges bench case. And click on find case. And I will open this case now. So this is how you open a case in SCC Online. It does not matter Whether you have a partial party name or you have a full party name, either ways, we can take your input and we will open the judgment for you. Now the judgment is being loaded up, but before the judgment gets displayed on my screen, what you're seeing over here is are several documents with respect to that same judgment. Now, as you can see, in the middle column, the document over here is being displayed with the icon J. Whenever you see the icon J, that means you're looking at a judgment, a full text judgment. Whenever you see an icon D, that means you're just looking at a law point of that judgment. We will discuss about this example in my later part of the session, but that is the identifier between a law point and a full text judgment, right? The number 9, number 6, number 8, whichever number you see, that simply represents how many judges were there in the quorum. Okay, now the judgment is on my right hand side over here, as I can see in the Supreme Court of India. And there you go. Now we have given you the information of how many judges were there in the quorum. So there were 9 judges, and these are the name of the judges. That was not there in that judgment. Okay. Now some of the judges' name are in the blue bold color. That simply represents that these are the judges who have authored the judgment, who have actually penned down the judgment. Right? Now scrolling down. Over here, what you see is index to head note. Now, rather than you seeing the judgment, there's a question I'm wrong.
There's a
Okay,
query.
Miss Anshita will, yeah. So there's a query from Miss Anshita, and it is regarding the MyLoft remote access software. So I guess for the MyLoft queries now, as we have moved forward, I would request you to please keep your queries regarding the MyLoft for the last, and we'll show the MyLoft procedure once again at the last of the session. Ms. Rana, please remind me of that.
Sure, sure.
Okay. So now we are back to the screen in which we are discussing about the judgment between a Supreme Court and the SEC Online. Now, in the Supreme Court, when you went to that Supreme Court and got the judgment, you had seen that the judgment was coming in the raw form. Let me show it to you once again. This is the judgment in the Supreme Court of India. You scroll down and you get the judgment, and thereafter you can read the whole judgment. But over here, when you're on the software, you are getting this index to head note. Now, index to head note simply means the summary, the gist of the whole judgment, what the whole judgment is talking about, and what were the main law points that were discussed in this judgment. Now, since the judgment is too lengthy, that is why we have break down the head note part into some portions. As we can see, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5. So for each and every part, now we would display you that in this part, what were the discussion placed in and what were the acts that were discussed. So the first part states about key rulings of the court, recognizing right to privacy as basic fundamental right, short notes A and B. This is just a heading. Now I will scroll down, and there you go. The first part begins from here. It talks about Constitution of India, Part 3, Article 21, 19, 14, and so forth, right to privacy, and you can read the whole portion over here. So by reading this head note part, you get a brief idea that the judgment is talking about privacy, judgment is talking about Constitution of India, and also if there have been any judgment which was cited, as you can see over here, MP Sharma and Khadak Singh, you can always get that information as well. Not only that, while reading the head note, if you would like to recall the information once again, by recalling what I mean is, you would like to see the Constitution of India once again, please click on the name. The Constitution of India will open in a new window. You can close it out, or else you can pinpoint any article, any act, any section, and the same methodology applies for the rest of the things. All right. So that is the head note part, which we all whenever we are publishing the Supreme Court judgments. If the judgment is too latest, then the head note part are in the process right now, and after a time, you would always are being displayed before the judgment. Now, the head note, we will scroll down now. So over here, the head notes are going in. Let me scroll down real quick. More information which is being displayed, that is summary of arguments. So for some landmark cases, we have started added this information as well. Summary of arguments simply means the arguments that were placed in the court before the judge from the petitioner side and from the respondent side, both of them. So by this method, you'll get a brief idea of what were the discussion that were placed in. As you can see, this is the argument that was placed in by Mr. Kapil Sibal sir, and you can read the whole opinion given by him. Now, after you are done with the arguments, when you scroll down something more, and then you'll get the judgment. Just a second. Yeah, over here, now the judgment has the court was delivered by. So as you can see, my scroll bar has already gone from the top till the middle of the page, and this is where the judgment starts. So by this method, by this example, I only wanted to convey only one thing, that is either you can read the whole judgment by yourself and get the idea of what the judgment is talking about, or you can rely upon the editors of Eastern Book Company. You can read the head notes, you can read the digest notes, and save a lot of time, which is very beneficial when you are competing or when you are preparing yourself for a moot court competition. Right? Having said that, let us start our research journey now. So for that, we will go back to the dashboard icon. The dashboard is over here, and we are back on the main window. Now in the research, students, there are many ways through which you can do a research. Just like I've given you an example of find a party name, that's one way. Another way, which is my personal favorite, is by going via word search. Now word search is very simple to use, but sometimes we face a bit of a challenge while using the word search. Why is that? Let me clear out the air over here. Whenever we are using this word search, we tend to ask question from the software, or we tend to type in the whole query which comes in our mind. For an example, let me take a very basic example, and then we'll move on to some advanced examples as well. We would like to see some latest cases delivered by Supreme Court of India on the topic of defamation, right? So what I can do is I can type my query like this: later judgment from Supreme Court of India on defamation. Now, this is just a very vague example to tell you how to write a query. But since we are using the free softwares very often, like Google, Indian Qanun, this and that, we always put in the query in a fashion like this. There is no problem whenever you're putting a query like this, but the only difference is between a good researcher and the best researcher is, please focus on the important words of the query. You do not have to define each and everything of a query. You only need to focus what is the most important word or words. It can be one, it can be many as well, are important in my query. So over here, most of the students has already figured it out that the word defamation is the most important in my query. So now I'll focus on that word and I'll remove the rest of the part. Because whenever you're working on a legal software, just like legal is a software, just like this one, Manupatra, LexisNexis, Westlaw, they all have the same method over here. Please use less words to get the more output. Over here, I've typed my one word and now I will click on the search bar. I hope the thumb rule is clear to everyone. Please keep it short and simple. Now, the software has given us almost 9,000 results. The good part is now I can browse through the categories from whichever category data I would like to see. So first, I would like to pinpoint the category which I'm trying to see over here. So I would like to see the judgments coming from Supreme Court of India. And I will click on this option, that is only. Only will make sure that this category has been selected and all other categories will be deselected. Now in the middle column, I can quickly click on any particular judgment and that judgment will open up. However, my query is still not completed. Why? Because in my query, I also cases coming from Supreme Court. So for that, what I can do is I can click on this sort by option over here. I click on this button And now there is an option for latest first, oldest first, quorum smallest, or quorum largest. I'll click on the latest first over here and let us see what are the latest judgments coming from Supreme Court on defamation topic. So there you go. There is a judgment from 25th of March 2021. This is a judgment from Patricia Mukim versus State of Meghalaya. And this is where the judgment of the court was delivered by. Now, most of you must be thinking about that, sir. You have just given us an example of a judgment in which you have given us some quality information embedded in it. However, that seems to be lost over here. We do not see any head note, any summary of arguments. Okay. So for that, students, please have a look upon the date. Whenever you see a latest judgment, just like a month or 2 months old, the head note part takes a lot of time to be made. And that is why they are in the process right now. Whenever you see a citation like this, 2021 SCC Online SC258, this is an online citation. This simply represents that this particular judgment has not been printed in our SCC journals. But when you see an older case, of example, let me click on the relevance again. Okay, my screen got freezed out. Just a second. Let me refresh my. Okay, now. So this example was for the latest one, in which the head notes are still in the process. Journal citation. Mr. Raina, can you hear me now?
Yes, Mohit, I can.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
You are audible.
Okay. I believe there's some problem with my internet, so I'm sorry for that. I believe the screen is still being shared.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much. So what I was trying to tell you, students, that I've given you two examples. First was the latest judgment and why the head notes were not present. That is why the citation is different. Over here, I've given you another example in which it's a pretty old judgment. It's so and so party name. I cannot even pronounce it. I'm really sorry for that. And the citation is different. The citation is from the SCC online journals. That simply represents the year, the volume, and the page number, right? And there you go. Now you see the head note part. When you scroll down, now you see the judgment part. So that is how you differentiate between an older judgment and a judgment which is in the process of getting the head notes, right? At any point of time, for any feature which I'm showing currently, if you have any confusion, please use a chat box window. I would love to see the interaction from the students. As being in the first year, you should have a lot of questions on your head. And obviously, we will always try to solve all the questions, whichever is being posted in the chat box. Okay. Now, some common doubts regarding a judgment, that is, sir, how can we save email? So all those common functionalities have been kept over here. You can save a judgment by clicking over here. You can save you can email a judgment by clicking over here. And similarly, you can print the judgment by clicking over here. In the print option, students, when you hover your cursor over here, you will get three type of print options. The first one is called true printout. The second one is called the non-true printout, and the third one is called non-true printout with highlight. Non-true printout simply means the internet download which is not acceptable in the court. Courts only accept the true printouts. That simply means the printouts which have been taken from the book. That is the court relies upon, right? So non-true printout can be good for your personal reference, but not for the court reference. Over here, if you would like to take the non-true printout, you can certainly click on this option and the whole judgment will be printed out. Similarly, non-true printout with highlight simply means that you have searched for the word and that word will by default be highlighted in your printout. The most important one is the true printout. True printout gives you the exact photocopy of how the judgment was published in the book, and therefore you can always cite them in the court. You select the number of pages, you click on the print icon, and the judgment will be available in the true printout format. There you go. Now, this particular format is entirely different from which you were seen on your screen previously, right? And this also gives you the stamp mark of SCC online true printout. It also gives you the option of it was being printed for Mohit Singh and so forth. Now, in the moot court competition, if you would like, if you do not want to disclose your name for the privacy concerns, then while registering yourself in the IP login, you can rename or you can enter the name as ABC team or team A, team B, team C, whichever you would like to write over there. All right, moving ahead. So those were some basic functions available. Let's move forward to some more research methodology. So for that, we are again clicking on this word search, dashboard, and let's go back to the word search. Now, I know that most of the time researchers not only type one word query, but they always type the query which contains more than one word. Um, I believe some of you might have heard about this act that is, or law, which I guess regarding the family law cases, right? So let's take an example from the family law. In the family law, we are looking for a latest case, or we are looking for a case coming from Supreme Court of India in which the second wife of a man is looking for interim maintenance till the time they get divorced. I'll repeat my statement again. According to the family law case, we are looking for a case coming from Supreme Court of India in which second wife of a man is looking for interim maintenance till the time they get divorced. How can you frame your query? How can you search the query over here in SCC Online? That is the main question, right? Either you can type in the whole query, and I wish you good luck for that. Or let me just show you one more quick method, which will help you a lot. Now, whenever you're typing your query, please type it as it comes into your mind. So right now what comes in my mind is family law in which second wife is looking for interim maintenance and till the time they get divorced or whichever the story is. So this is how what I have written till now, family law in which so and so you can read about it. The thumb rule says that please look for the important points or the important keywords in your query. Important keywords are as follows: family, law, second, wife, interim, maintenance. If you agree with me, then please delete the rest of the words. Is looking for, in which, or any other fillers that is not required in my query. So now my query consists of multiple keywords in it. Now, students, whenever you have multiple keywords in your query, either you can go with this method, you can click on the search bar. Yes, it will work. Or the second method is, which is again my personal favorite, that is, please search for the first word at a time. The first word over here is family law. In your case, it can be second wife, or in another case, it can be divorce. And in some rare scenarios, it can be Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, Section 18. So it varies from person to person how he or she has framed the query. But the motto is please stick to the first word and later on search for the second word and then later on search for the third word. So right now I'm going with the first word over here, and the first word states family law. In the family law, since it is a legal phrase, just like dowry death is a legal phrase, just like damnum sine injuria is a legal phrase, right? So whenever you're writing any legal phrases over here, it is an international practice which works on Google, YouTube, every search engine. Please use double inverted commas. Double inverted commas tell the software that we are not trying to search for two different words. We are trying to search for one legal phrase. We click on the search bar, and now after getting the results, we will search for the rest of the query. That is how this particular method works. So right now I'm getting all the results coming from the case of family law, and now I will search for the rest of my query. That is my second word and the third word. Second word is second wife. Just a second. Wife over here. Search. And the third word is interim maintenance. Again, I will type interim maintenance over here. Search. Now, this is an example to show you how it works, right? So as you can see, first, when we have search for family law, it has given us 3000 results. Later on, the results got decreased to 1000, and again, it got decreased towards 200 only. Now, whenever you're getting some less results, please do not search any further. Please filter down the query. Filter down the query simply means that please select any particular category from the database. So I'm looking from Supreme Court of India and it is only 13. Now this is a good search which I have made. If I get only 10, 15 results, I can simply click on any judgment, read the head note. If the head note is suitable as my purpose, I can read the whole judgment for me. Otherwise, I can click on another judgment. So head notes, that is how the head notes saves your time. But in your scenario, if you do not get the output as you expected, then I request you to please modify your query. Modification simply means please delete the words which you have searched and please enter a new word which might be the best possible word for this particular query. Right? So this is how search within search works. Again, for any questions, please use the chat box window. I'll go back to the dashboard icon one more time. There are many other word search methods available, but I guess for the first year students, you can use the either one word search. And again, you can always use the search within search, which is my personal favorite and works every time. Now, there is a similar tile, just like word search, which is specifically designed for the first year students. That is find by topic. Now, find by topic is similar to the word search, but rather than giving you a blank screen, what it does is it gives you the categories on which you would like to search upon. So for example, some of the students would love to search on arbitration. Some of the students would love to search on contract law. But the only problem is they are not getting the correct word, or we can say the best possible legal words on which they would search the query. So this particular tile will help them to get the best legal words in the suggestion. So as you can see, when I'm scrolling down on the list over here, I'm looking for contract law cases. I believe the contract law is being discussed in the first year. So where it is, there you go, contract and specific relief. When you click on a category, the software will give you suggestions. Sir, are you looking for the construction or interpretation of contract? No. Are you looking for formation defects, void and voidable contracts? Probably. So yes, whenever you select the query, please click on search everywhere in the bottom and click on go. So over here, you do not have to type anything extra. Please search for the list which you're looking for. Search for the keyword which is best for your query and click on go button. Now it will act like a word search and rest of the method remains the same. I believe this particular tile will be beneficial for the first year students who are struggling to get what should be the best word for this query, right? Moving ahead. So these were two tiles that those are similar to each other, word search and find by topic. There's very good tile that is again for the first year student benefits, that is words and phrases. In words and phrases, whenever you would like to get the meaning of a particular legal word, then you can certainly come to this particular tile and you can get the meaning of it. Now, we all know what's the meaning of bail, right? We all know what's the meaning of it in our own language. However, when we are searching for the meaning of word bail on Google, it gives us tons of different meanings to it. The only question is, yes, that is very good while getting the information in, but can we get the information that where this meaning is coming from? Is it coming from an article? Is it coming from any judgment? Is it coming from any authentic source or not? If we question that particular matter, then you can always come to these words and phrases, and you can always get the sources as well from whichever information has been taken from. So I'll type bail. I click on show button, and there you go. The bail word has many definitions, but in this judgment, the word bail was defined extensively, as you can see, starting from here, and it goes till here. In this first paragraph, a judge has defined what's the meaning of bail, and you can read about it by opening this case, that is AK Gopalan versus State of Madras. Similarly, for the second paragraph, another judge has defined what's the meaning of bail in this particular judgment. So what I'm trying to show you over here is you're not only getting the meaning, but you're also getting the source and how the judge has defined what's the meaning of bail. Not only that, you will also get the information coming from Walton Dictionary of Law with the abbreviation of WAT. So this is how our words and phrases works. We do not take any information from third-party sources. We always read the judgment. If any judge has defined any word, we come over here and add that information. So that is how words and phrases works like a charm. Moving ahead, going with find by party name and find by citation, let us cover these important aspects as well. Now, students, sometimes you get the party name, sometimes you get the citation. Whenever you get any one of those information, please come to these styles. These are very easy to use, and even if you have less information available, it will still, we can say, fulfill the purpose. Now over here, when you go to search by party name, you have already seen my previous example of KS Puttoswamy, right? So just for a moment, we'll skip that. Let's go to search by famous case name. In search by famous case name, this has been specifically designed for those landmark cases which were there in national media headline. What I mean by that is, if we talk about a latest national media headline case, that was Babri Masjid case, right? So even if you do not remember the party name of Babri Masjid case or the citation, you can just type the national media headline, Babri Masjid case, click on find case. Not only that, for some older cases as well. For example, we all know the case of Nirbhaya case. So we can type the name of the Nirbhaya case over here and we'll get the party name over here. So this is how you can certainly type whichever famous case name you would like to search around. Now, let's go back to the main topic. We would like to open a case. So over here, I believe we have already gone through the case of Sajjan Singh versus State of Rajasthan. So for that, how can I open that case? It's very simple. Select the court. I do not know from which court the judgment was delivered from. Not a problem. Please click on all jurisdiction. Type over here Sajjan Singh and State of Rajasthan. Find case. There you go. Now you're getting some results from here. It is showing 18 results because all the courts of India are now being selected by default. So these are coming from 2014, 2015, 2018. No, it was something in the 19th century. So in the 19th century, 1965, 1954, 1958, I believe it was 1965. So by the date, I can pinpoint whichever case I'm looking for. Let's take another example. Let's take the example of the AK Gopalan versus State of Madras, which we have already seen the example in the words and phrases. So how can we open that case? Please again, click on the all jurisdiction button. This time, I know it was delivered from Supreme Court of India. All right, very good. Click on Supreme Court and now enter the party name. It was AK Gopalan versus State of Madras, but my senior did not give me the name of the respondent. So how can I do that? AK Gopalan. That is all you can type. Click on find case. Again, AK Gopalan versus Government of India 1966, No D 1969, and the oldest one is State of Madras. This is how I can still get my best result even if I enter the partial information. So that is all I wanted to show over here in Find by Party Name. Again, any confusion, please use the chat box window. A question coming from Ms. Sakshi. Sir, the head notes are available for every judgment except the latest one. Yes. Coming from Supreme Court of India, we cover the Supreme Court as well as the head note portion. But the head notes are not present for the Federal Court, the Privy Council, all for those courts. So till now, Supreme Court by default, but we are also working on the High Court judgments. I hope that answers your question. Now, over here, students, as we have already discussed, that J means you're looking at a judgment. 6 means quorum strength. D means digest notes, 6 means again quorum strength. But sir, why there is a necessity of including all these documents? Why can't we just only include the judgment and the head note portion and then we can read about it? Students, these digest notes are for your benefit. This can save a lot of how. Let me show it to you. Judgment is one, obviously. But when we look at digest notes, these are 230. Now, this simply represents that 50 when this judgment was delivered. This judgment contained, or we can say in this judgment, there were 231 points of law that were discussed. Points of law can be IPC section 302 was discussed, contract law was discussed, limitation act was discussed, or any other act, section, or any words or phrases were discussed. Whichever law point was discussed, we have made a proper digest note for you. Why? Because first of all, you will get the idea that whichever law point is relevant for you, you can pinpoint that. So for example, this one, due process of law. Now, due process of law word was discussed in the judgment, and on due process of law, what was the opinion coming from Justice Faisal Ali sir is coming over here. And what was the opinion coming from Justice Mukherjee sir is coming over here. So we just not only give you the heading that this was a law point, this was a law point. No, we also gives you what was the opinion of the quorum. That is very necessary. Again, let us move forward and let us see. Do we have anything else apart from words and phrases? Let me scroll down real quick. Okay, judicial review, scope of Supreme Court's power. This is very important. This particular topic was discussed in A.K. Gopalan, that what is the scope of Supreme Court's power. And as per Justice Das sir, this was his opinion, right? When you scroll down, you will get to see that this is coming from A.K. Gopalan case. Obviously, we are looking at that. And while discussing this particular law point, this law point was also followed in 2016 case of Skora versus Union of India. So after so many years, this law point was taken again and which was followed in any other case, and that too with the latest case, 2016 one. So digest notes are for your help, students. They give you a brief idea of how many law points were there. Again, it gives you the idea that what was the one more important and critical feature whenever you are searching or whenever you are working on one particular case. That is, you may have heard this term from your seniors and from faculty members that please do not read this case as this case has been overruled. So what do you mean by that? So that simply means in simple language that whichever law which was decided in this case has now been struck down, has now been overruled by any other case. That's very simple. So if I say A.K. Gopalan has been overruled in Keswananda Bharati case or any other case, then I can simply just write a line over here that this has been overruled. Please do not use this case. That's absolutely correct. But what if I would like to see on which points of law it was overruled? Then that's the question. So whenever you would like to see that on what points of law this case was overruled, then for that, please go to search within search on the top left and type in the word overruled to get that precise information that these are the points of law that were overruled and rest of the points are still a good law. You can cite them, you can use them. Out of 231, 7 points of law are not good for you anymore. They have been overruled, they have been struck down. But other than the 7 law points, every other law point can still be used, just like we have seen the example of Skora versus Union of India. Right, so whenever you see this red exclamatory mark, this simply represents that this law point has been overruled. Let us try to click on any one of them. Let us try to click on this one. This law point talks about Article 21, law, meaning and scope. Article 21, law does not mean just as in law in the abstract sense of natural justice. As per former Chief Justice Kania sir, this was his opinion. As per Justice Patanjali Shastri sir, this was his opinion. Justice Mukherjee sir, this was his opinion. When you scroll down to the last, you will get to see in from oldest to latest fashion that where this law point was overruled. First of all, it was overruled in Menka Gandhi case 1978, and latest it was overruled in Kalpana Mehta case in 2018. So you'll get the entire history that it was used several times in different cases, and all of them got overruled. Right, so this is how you get the information that whichever case I'm looking at, how can I see whether this contains any overruled law point? Please search for the word overruled and you'll get all the information in one place. So that is the overruled feature for you. Please click on the cross button to get to your main screen again. Ms. Raina, could you please correct me on this if I have covered the copy paste feature or not? I
No,
believe I have
copy
covered.
paste feature is
Acha.
not covered yet.
ठीक है, okay, no problem. Students, the copy paste feature is very useful, I believe, for the competition and for your personal reference as well. So copying anything from a judgment is very easy. If you are working on a judgment which does not contain any head note, the head notes are still in process. The copying method is very simple. Please highlight whichever extract or whichever text you wanted to copy, and you can directly copy it. But for the judgments who have the head notes, who have the digest notes, what you can do is please look for this small notepad icon. Double click on that. It will open up in a new window through which you will be able to copy and paste. For multiple paragraphs, what you can do is select the notepad one by one. Single click, select, single click, select. Oh, third paragraph is so huge. Single click, select in the fourth one. And now I can click on the smart copy. So this is how you can select the multiple paragraphs. With that, I guess I have already given the information about the basic functionalities, how you can save, email, print, how you can take the copying feature. Also, I have given you some information how you can pull up any judgment with the help of a party name. Again, if there are any questions, feel free to use the chat box window. I would love to see your questions. I would love to see more and more participation from the students. Rana sir, any questions till now?
So we have one question from Shivangi. She is asking, besides the words which have been searched, can we get a part of judgment highlighted and then mailed to us?
Besides the word which have been searched, can we get a part of the judgment highlighted and then mailed to us? Yes, you can always get a part of the judgment highlighted, not highlighted, but you can get it mailed to yourself. So basically, if the judgment part is coming in the form of digest note, then that particular digest note can be emailed to yourself. Otherwise, if you're reading the judgment and you feel like that this second paragraph or the third paragraph is relevant for you, you would like to email it to yourself, please open up in a new window, double click on that. And over here, you can enter your email ID and this small extract will be emailed to you. I hope that answers your question in how to email it to yourself via two different methods. All right, moving ahead. We are back to the dashboard. Okay, Mr. Anna, what do you suggest? What should we cover next? Shall we go back to the library or shall we cover the research part more and more?
Basically, considering they have the moot court, I think
research part would be the best, right?
Yeah, correct.
Absolutely. I was also thinking on the same
Yes.
lines. There's one more question. Sir,
yeah,
can you
she
please?
She wants to repeat it. That mail paste, copy paste feature.
Okay. All right, sure. So I'll open up a new case for you students and I'll repeat the copying process one more time, right? So right now I'm going with find by citation. In find by citation, students, it is very important for you to get the right citation, because sometimes whenever our seniors gives us the citation, I'm not defaming anyone, I'm just giving you a very vague example. Sometimes it may happen that you get the incorrect page number or the incorrect volume number. In order to cater that problem, first of all, please select whichever journal citation you are about to enter. So over here, which journal citation I would like to enter is, I have Criminal Law Journal, I have AIR, SCR, Gujarat Law Journal, whichever journal citation I would love to enter, I can select that. Currently, I'm selecting my own journal, that is SCC. And now, Let us open a case. I'm taking the year first of all, that is 1993. I'm taking the volume number and I take the page number as 444. Oh, 444 is not there in this volume. Okay, 443. No, 442. No, there is 441. So this is a suggestion coming from the software that you might be having the incorrect page number. 441 is the correct page number. So whenever you're entering the information, please look out for the suggestions coming from the software as well. We have mapped our database in such a way that you will always get this kind of, we can say, output from the software. Okay, again, one student asked me that please repeat the copying process. Again, copying process is very simple. This is the head note going on, so I'll just skip the head note portion real quick. Or else what I can do is I can click on any judge's name. There you go. Now I am on the judgment part in which Justice Pandian sir concurring opinion is coming from, and this is why the whole judgment has been written over here. Okay, how can we copy? Please look for this small notepad icon, single click on it. There you go. Look for another notepad icon, single click on it, and another one. So 3 notepads, or we can say 3 paragraphs have been selected. Please click over here now, that is smart copy. And this is how you can get the extract in a new window. From there, you will be able to copy and paste into your Word file. So this is the copying method. Again, you can also email it to yourself or one of your colleagues so that they can also get the extract. So this is the copying method which works every time, just like a charm. All right, moving ahead. Find case law by section. Students, find case law by section is very useful tile. How? Because find case law by sections gives you all the case laws on particular act and one particular section. What I mean by that is you would like to search for the latest case laws on IPC section 302. How can I do that? You can either go with a word search or you can come to this particular tile, which is again very easy to use. First of all, please type the name of the act. Name of the act is Penal Code. Find in title, Penal Code over here. And now in this particular list, I just need to select which section I would like to see. So 302, I will scroll down and there you go, punishment for murder. Click on go and all the cases with respect to IPC 302 will be coming onto my screen. There you go, 37,302 results. What I can do is I can simply click on the judgment section, Supreme Court only, sort by latest first, and with that method I will get the latest judgment. It is coming in this month, I guess, May 7th. Yes, that's the May 7th. And this is a very perfect example to show you the another method of copying. So as you can see, students, this judgment does not contain any head note, right? And there is no notepad icon. Please highlight whichever portion you would like to copy it and paste it. It works just like that, because since we do not have any copyright over here in the form of head note, we have no problem in order for you to copy any extract in the judgment. One more thing, whenever you're working on any judgment, you can copy the judgment extract, not the head note portion. And similarly, if you are working on any digest note, you cannot copy anything from the digest note because that has been handmade by the editorial team, right? Having said that, let me present you one very interesting feature of SCC Online, which is going to be very beneficial for all the students who are in this meeting right now. Can I have your focus over here? The feature is called case compendium or case compilation. How can you make your compilation with the help of the software which you are already doing with your manual intervention? So over here, what I can do is I would like to create a case compendium with the help of the documents which I want in my, we can say, software. First thing first, please select all the documents or whichever documents you want in your compendium. I want 4 judgments, these 4 judgments, 2 digest notes and 1 article. Now it does not matter whether you're working on the same screen or you're working on different screens. It does not matter. I'm just giving you an example. That is why I'm working on one static screen over here. First step is please select the documents and upload the document in the folder. I will select this icon now and I will change the folder to the university name. You can rename the folder to whichever university name, whichever your personal name you wanted to give. Please remember, we cannot see your folders nor your files because this folder has been binded with your login ID. New folder. It's taking some time, so just a second. I'll just type Maharaja Agrasen. There you go. You can enter the full name of your university, click on enter and select the folder and click on OK. What I've done till now is I have successfully created a folder with the name of Maharaja Agrasen, and I have uploaded a judgment inside of that folder. Similarly, I will do that method for the rest of the cases. This one as well, second one. Click on the folder icon, click on OK, click on the folder icon and click on OK. I'll just do that real quick. There is no limit of how many folders you want. There is no limit of how many files you can upload inside of that folder. So now we are in the digest note category. Again, same folder, click on OK. And let's take our last thing, that was an article. Articles are not over here, so I'm sorry for that. We are only looking for the penal code section 302, and I believe there is no such article written on that which we have in our database right now. Okay, the next step is please go and make the compendium. But where to go? Where to click on? You need to click over here, that is my client sessions, and click on my folders and view folders, right? We click on view folders. All the folders which have been created by you along with the documents which have been added by you will be coming onto your screen. So as you can see, Maharaja Agrasen folder is being selected and all the documents which are inside it are over here. Now it's very simple. Please select whichever document you want in your compendium or select all of them if you want all of them. Please go to this middle icon and go to this last icon, that is create case compilation. Now the software will ask you what should be the sequence of the documents. Judgment to be on the top, digest note to be on the bottom. Again, this judgment to be on the second. There you go. Judgment, digest note. Okay, move down. There you go. Now the order is being specifically designed as my purpose. And page size, legal or A4, A4. Click on create. And that is how within 1 or 2 minutes, as per your how many documents you have successfully created a compendium with the help of the software. First of all, our software will give you the table of contents along with the pagination. As you can see, first judgment is going from page number 1 till page number 7. Second judgment is going from page number 8 till page number 12. And similarly, you can see the order over here. Good part is this table, you would like to cite para number 6, para number 5 and line number 1. You can write it that way. You can save it and you can download it. So this is a personalized table of contents available for you. The second slot or the second data consists of all the documents which have been added by you with the pagination according to the sequence you have selected. So as you can see, this is the pagination defined by 1, 2, 3, and again, it gives me my name that is being printed for Mohit Singh. I've already answered this question that if you would like to change your name, how you can do that. So there you go. The compendium has been made. You can download the compendium by clicking on this download document. Combine both the documents and you can submit them in the code or in your moot code competition that can help you a lot. So that is case compilation for you students. I know we are trying to give all the information what we have, but don't worry, we are just keeping this session as a basic one. We will again have advanced sessions with you with some more research methodology available on the SCC online. But I guess for the research part, today we have given you enough information so that you can ponder upon it, you can think upon it, and the information regarding the compendium is going to be really beneficial in your moot court competition. It can save a lot of time. Rena, you would like to add something in the research part more?
Yeah, this is one thing Dipanita is asking with regard to the compilation. Can we rearrange them anytime? If yes, then how? I mean, the way you have sequenced them, can we rearrange them later on?
Answering to Miss Dipanita Singh, once you have created the compendium, then you cannot rearrange it. So while making the compendium, you can again make a new define the sequence, and a new compendium will be made. So once you have clicked on create, then you cannot redo it.
I think Mohit, we can now move to the moot court, the second section, moot court section.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, thank you. I'm just having a glance on the question answers round. So I'm sorry I joined. Okay, students who have
There's
joined late, yeah, do not worry. This meeting is already being recorded. Please get in touch with your student ambassador or your faculty members. They will help you with the recording. Otherwise, if they give us the permission, we will also upload it on the YouTube. So whenever you are on the go, you can have a look upon your YouTube video. Having said that, let us also cover the My Library portion that is very beneficial for today's session. And in the My Library portion, first of all, I would like to cover this browse acts and rules. Browse acts and rules is widely used option from many students and researchers because while they are on the go, they would just like to see one particular section of an act. Okay, so when you click on it, you'll get the Constitution of India, you'll get the Central Act, Central Notification, State Act, and State Notifications. So I click on Central Act over here. I will get all the commonly used acts over here and the rest of the acts in the alphabetical order, as you can see it, right? If I click on any one of them, let's say, let's click on, okay, let's take the Contract Act for the example. The whole act will be populated on the right hand side. Either I can scroll down or I can click on any section I want. So let's take any section over here. Fraud defined. In section number 70 of Contract Act, the term fraud was defined, and this is the information coming from the original Bail Act, right? You got your information. Either you can close this window, but if you scroll down, you will get to see that there are some blue color information coming on section number 17 of Contract Act. This blue color information is coming from the help of editors of Eastern Book Company. And what they're trying to tell you over here is that there are some important judgments on section number 17, which you would like to see. So on the account of breach of contract or fraud, there is an important judgment that is Reliance Salt versus Cosmos Enterprises 2016. On the topic of fraud, there is an important judgment from DDA versus Skipper Construction. On the account of fraudulent misrepresentation, I'm sorry for that, there is an important judgment from Prem Singh versus Birbal. There you go. So this is not kind of a cheat sheet, but it gives you a brief idea that yes, the section which I'm reading also contains some landmark judgments on it. And in the blue color option, I can see all of them, right? The rest of the options remains the same: email, print, and the save icons. Going back to the dashboard, another good feature in the library portion is browse curated topics. Now, browse curated topics gives we can say a large spectrum of data to a wide audience. So if you are dealing with the environmental law, if some of the students are practicing in taxation law, if any of your seniors practice in corporate and commercial law, we have made separate tiles for them. So whenever they would like a particular data from a category, they can simply select a category. And what type of data do you get? Let me show it to you. So for example, you click on environmental law. Under environmental law, there are several categories, such as we have biological diversity, we have climate change, we have noise pollution, we have pollution, hazardous waste, and waste management. So whichever category you select, suppose I select biological diversity. Now, onto this category, whether it is a statute, whether it's a rule and regulation, or whether there are important judgments, all the information have been kept in the same place. As you can see, if I click on statutes, all the statutes and the sections which are discussing regarding the biological diversity will be shown over here. As you can see, Biological Diversity Act, that's for sure. But NGT Act 2010 Schedule 3 has also been discussed regarding the biological diversity. That is why it has been kept over here. Also, Wildlife Protection Act Section 838 also discusses regarding the biological diversity. That is why it has been kept over here. So whichever act and section is discussing regarding the category you have selected, that will be displayed over here. Similarly, we have rules and regulations. And most importantly, the students would like to see is all the important cases on biological diversity, important as in the landmark cases. So these are handful, but these are very important for your purpose. So if you would like to see the full text of the judgment, please scroll down. This is Research Foundation versus Union of India. Click over here, get the whole judgment by yourself. So all in all, Browse Created Topics is such a tile through which you can get all the information in one place rather than going from a different tile from one place to another. Let us also cover some important tiles over here. Those are Browse Articles and Moot Court Resources. Browse Articles gives you articles coming from different universities, such as, let me show you the quick list over here. Aligarh Law Journal, Dhaka University, HNLU, whichever university you would like to search the volume upon or the articles upon, you can directly click on the university name and get the articles. My favorite method is, if you know the topic of the article you would like to search. So for example, I would like to search the article on hate speech. So I click on here, the filter icon, and I type hate speech. There you go. Now, whichever article which has been written on this particular topic, hate speech, does not matter is coming from Aligarh Law Journal, Law Review Journals, or whichever university, it will be on your screen, as you can see. So this is very good method in order to pinpoint whichever article you would like to see. Moving ahead, we have Moot Court Resources. Under Moot Court Resources, whichever competitions that were held in the past, we have kept the mooting problems, the proposition, and the winner team memo. So if I click on any one of them, let's take this Amity Lucknow. So we have this Amity Lucknow coming from 2018. We click on the problem over here. That is the whole proposition. And now we click on the winner team memo from the appellant side. There is for submission to the Honorable Chief Justice and his companions. And this is how they have submitted their memo. And from the respondent side as well. There you go. So this is how you can get to that information in one place. You can save it, email it, print it, or you can upload this information as well. And all in all, I guess that is all what we can cover in the basic session of today with respect to the research part and the My Library part. Many other information can be skipped out when you're working on the software. So for that, first of all, we'll leave our number, we'll leave our email addresses so that you can directly reach out to us. Second method is you can always get the recording. You can always rewind it and get to see that how this feature works. And third way is you go to this question mark icon, which contains all the video representation of particular features which have been discussed in today's session. So you have all the sources available through which you can get all the help, right? So with that information, I guess, Mr. Anna, do we have anything else to cover with respect to SCC Online research methodologies?
I think most of it is covered, and it's fair enough. I mean, for preparation, immediately students can just utilize these options, which are very handy. Only thing was that initially, I'm not remembering the name of the student who said that I was unable to access that IP login.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So in that case,
Thank
I
you
think,
for reminding me. Sure, absolutely.
There's another query on OR button, etc. That is the Boolean operators they're talking about.
Oh, Boolean operators. All right. Okay. So first we'll talk about the operators and then we'll log out and then we'll give you the login process one more time, right? So there is a query. Can I have the name of the student as well who asked this query?
That was in the beginning. I'm not remembering the name.
Okay, no problem.
Just
no problem.
browse the.
Okay, no problem. So one of the student asked me that, sir, how can we use the Boolean operators? So basically, what are Boolean operators? Let me give you a quick brief on that.
This was from Sakshi.
Okay,
Boolean
Miss
operator.
Sakshi. So yeah, very nice question. Thank you for asking this question. Boolean operators are of three types: near, or, and not. I will not be able to cover all of them, but what I'll do is I'll give you a brief idea of how you can use these Boolean operators and you can modify your searches, right? What a near operator means, or what a near operator does, is basically what it does is it makes sure that whichever keywords you are searching in, it will fall in the same sentence, or in simple terms, it should be as close as possible in the same judgment. That what a near operator does. What a or operator does is or operator will make sure that whichever choices that you have defined in your query, software will understand that you either want this or you want this. So you define a choice with using or operator. What not operator does is it basically excludes something from your results. If you want some of the results to be falling in, but you also want some of the things to exclude, then you can exclude them with the help of the not operator. So today I'll be covering the near operator over here, and I'll give you a brief idea how you can use that. Now in the near operator, let's take a case of um, NI Act section 138, Negotiable Instrument Act. I believe you have already read about this scenario. So whenever a check gets dishonored, it can be dishonored through insufficient funds. It can be dishonored because it was a stale check, or it can be dishonored through whichever reason it was, right? So if I would like to see some case laws on dishonor of check cases in which the check was dishonored due to it was a stale check, and also I would like to see that the check was dishonored because there were insufficient funds in the account. How can I see the case laws? So first of all, let me write down the query and then we'll ponder upon it. Show negotiable section. I'm not typing the entire act name, 138, in which check got dishonored due to insufficient funds or stale check. So this is my query. And if you write like this, just like I'm doing the mistake over here, you are not going to get any results. Thumb rule states, please look for the important points of law, or sorry, important legal words in your query. Negotiable, certainly it is important. Section 138 seems to be important. In which, no, I don't think. Check, no. Got, no. Dishonored, yes, it seems to be important. But since we are already defining that we are looking for section 138, which directly discuss about the dishonor of check, so that we can delete this part as well. Due to, deleted. Insufficient funds, important. Or, no. And stale check, important. This is how you filter down your query. Now there's one more thing which I can remove, or in your case you can keep it, that is section. Because in some of the judges have written down this section as ss dot, sec dot, s dot, and whichever way they would like to write. So I can remove this if I want to. Now the methodology is very simple. Once you have filtered down your query, please use the near operator to make sure that this word and this word is going to appear as near as possible, as close as possible, right? You have defined that. Again, you can use the near operator to make sure that this entire syntax is going to be displayed as near to this entire syntax, right? Also, whenever you are writing a legal phrase, just like insufficient funds and stale check, you need to enclose them. Oh, I'm really sorry. My entire query just went wrong. I clicked on some wrong option over there. 138 near, I believe it was. Okay, happened again. Insufficient funds, right? And the second one was stale check. There you go. All right. The last but not the least, there is one more operator that you already have guessed about, that is OR. So by this method, I have given you the example of how you can use the near operator to make sure the word should appear as close as possible. And also I have given you a brief understanding of how you can define a choice in your query. So over here, I have defined a choice. I have given a choice to the software that if the judgments are coming from this reason, please display that. If the judgments are coming from this reason, obviously, please display that as well. Please remember, students, always type in the Boolean operators in capital form. Even if you're working from the mobile, please use them in the capital form. Otherwise, it will not work. And what you need to do is click on the search bar, right? But before we click on the search bar, let us also cover the not operator. Not operator basically excludes something from the results. Now, all the results will be coming from on the account of insufficient funds, and none of the results will be coming from the account of stale check. So this is how you exclude something. Why it is required? Because even if you do not type it, there is no guarantee that it would not appear. It can appear, right? The stale check word can appear in any of the judgments. However, but if you define it precisely, then that word will be excluded. That document will be excluded. So that is the functionality of how you can use a near, the or, and the not operator. I believe that was asked by Miss Sakshi. I hope that answers your the question. All right, moving ahead. We are on time right now. So question answers is already open, students. Please feel free to use the chat box window. Please feel free to unmute yourself and let us know if you have any queries regarding any of the feature which I have shown today. And in the meanwhile, while the students are giving me their questions, I will just give a small recap on how they can use the MyLoft registration process and the SEC Online under 1 minute. All right. So I'll just log out real quick. So students, first thing first, in order to use SEC Online, you need to register yourself with the MyLoft. And for the MyLoft registration, you should look for the email that says that is coming from no reply @myloft.xyz. This is the first step which you should be looking for. Click on set password. It will open up a new window. Please create your own password. Please select the institute as SCC Online. There you go. Enter the email ID on which you have received the invitation. Enter the password which you have just created. Click on sign in. This is the first step that gives you the access towards MyLoft. Now, once you're in the MyLoft, click on e-resources or click on databases. And on the right hand side, you'll get the option of SCC Online. Click on SCC Online. And now SCC Online will open up. I would highly recommend you students, please repeat this process if you're using it for the first time in your Google Chrome or in the Mozilla Firefox. Now, when you go to the login screen, you will get this IP login feature. In the IP login feature, students, first of all, register yourself by entering your campus ID, entering your full name, and you can log in. Those who have already registered, please click on login, enter your email ID, which is already registered, and click on login now. So pretty simple, pretty easy. But even if you get any difficulties while using MyLoft or SEC, Mr. Rajesh Raina has already given our mobile numbers, our email addresses, and our toll-free numbers in the chat box window. You can directly reach out to us for that. With that information, I guess we are on time. We are open to the question answers round. If the students have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and post your question in the chat box window.
I request the participants to please ask questions. If there are any. We are open to Q&A right now.
There were some very good questions asked by some students, but I would love to get some more interaction if we can. Otherwise, this was just a basic section, students. And with respect to your faculty members, if they would like to have another session with the advanced properties of SEC Online, then you can always schedule that. And till that time, you can always get the hang of SEC Online. That's okay. The basic thing is done. Now we want something extra. So for something extra, we can always find another date and time, and we can always reschedule the meeting.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to call upon our convener, Dr. Nisha Dhanraj Diwani, to present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Shivam. We are really grateful to Mr. Mohit and Mr. Rajesh Raina for this wonderful interacting and practical session on SSC Use Online. Also, I'm thankful to Professor Dr. Rajini Malhotra Dhingra, Principal of Department of Law, and Dr. Praveen Kumar Gupta, Head of the Department of Law, for their unconditional support. We hope that the student must have taken benefit out of this session. Once again, we appreciate your gesture shown in accepting our invitation so early and made yourself available for today's session. Also, I hope that the students will use these tools and techniques in their research, moot court, and other activities. And definitely, sir, I will convey this suggestion to my principal ma'am, so that another session with you can be arranged. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Such a beautiful audience, and thank you for organizing this session, ma'am. We would always like to come by and always like to do another session which we can for the benefit of students. With that information, I guess with your permission, ma'am, can we close this session now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Thank you so much, everyone. Good evening. Have a good day, and best of luck for your moot court. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.